Representative Peter King's hearings on so-called Muslim radicalization began today. Congressman King wants to investigate the entire Muslim community in this country. And he does not want to investigate any other kind of radicals because, of course, if he did, he might find out that a lot of them are right-wingers. We're going to talk about how un-American these hearings are in a second. But first, I want to show you the one good thing that came out of them. Representative Keith Ellison, who's the first Muslim ever in the United States Congress, gave this emotional testimony about the heroism of one man on 9/11.
Let me close with a true story, but remember that it's only one of many American stories that could be told. Mohammed Salman Hamdani was a 23-year-old paramedic, a New York City police cadet, and Muslim American. He was one of those brave first responders who tragically lost his life in 9/11 terrorist attacks almost a decade ago. As the New York Times eulogized, he wanted to be seen as an all-American kid. He wore number 79 on the high school football team at Bayside, Queens, where he lived. He was called Sal by his friends. He became a research assistant at the Rockefeller University and drove an ambulance part-time. One Christmas, he sang Handel's Messiah in Queens. He saw all of the Star Wars movies, and it's well known that his new Honda was the one that read with the Young Jedi license plates. Mr. Hamdani bravely sacrificed his life to try to help others on 9/11. After the tragedy, some people tried to smear his character solely because of his Islamic faith. Some people spread false rumors and speculated that he was in league with the attackers because he was a Muslim. But it was only when his remains were identified that these lies were exposed. Mohammed Salman Hamdani was a fellow American who gave his life for other Americans. His life should not be identified as just a member of an ethnic group or just a member of a religion, but as an American who gave everything for his fellow Americans.
Congressman Ellison's testimony goes to the heart of what is wrong with these hearings. Smearing people because of their ethnicity and lumping them in with terrorists because of their faith is grotesque. But more importantly, it is un-American. It misses the whole point of this country. Remember, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That is part of what has brought countless immigrants to this country, from Italy and Ireland and Japan and Poland, and yes, from Mexico and the Middle East. They came here with a belief that they would be judged as equals and that their children would have the same opportunity as any other American. That's why my family came here. We're true believers. We believe that what makes you an American isn't being born in Nebraska or New Jersey. It's the belief in your heart that democracy is the right form of government, freedom is essential, and that we should all be treated as equals. But from time to time in this country's history, some ugly forces in the nation try to undo the essence of America and forget what made it great. Joe McCarthy wanted to separate us. He held hearings that turned into witch hunts, trying to find people who he considered to be un-American. During World War II, FDR made a terrible mistake and interned to Japanese just because of who they were. One of those interned was Mike Honda. He's now a 76-year-old congressman from California. He has condemned the King hearings, said he cannot believe that he has lived long enough to see our country turn back to these dark days. Of course, throughout U.S. history, we've attacked different ethnicities for their race or creed. Just ask Native Americans or African Americans. But we persevered through all of this in the hope and the belief that the core of America, the idea of America, was better than that the shining city on a hill would shine again. So now we are confronted by another petty, ugly man who isn't just challenging a whole religion or ethnicity, he is challenging the concept of America. If I am Muslim and I am an American, I don't have to prove a damn thing to Congressman King. I am no more or no less of an American than he is. He has no right to question my loyalty or to investigate my family based on who we are. It is, of course, supremely ironic that King is the one who has started looking into people's connections to radicals. because he himself was an ardent supporter of the IRA, a terrorist group that killed over 600 civilians. He even raised money for those terrorists and made light of the deaths of the civilians that they caused. So if I were to go to Congressman King's hearings, I would not go as the accused. I would go as the accuser. It is you, Mr. King, who is brazenly associated with terrorists. It is you who does not understand what it means to be an American. And it is you who is trying to damage our great country.